Good morning. Welcome to Blog Star Challenge day number 4. Welcome. We'll just wait for people to jump on. I hope you've been able to work on your homework each day. I know it's a lot of information and a lot of things to think about. But as you're going through it, make sure you're leaving comments. Hi, good morning. Yeah, make sure you're leaving comments so I can answer questions for you. Good morning, Nicole. Thanks for being here. Are you excited to talk about branding your blog today? It's gonna be a lot of fun. We're gonna do a little activity, and if you have Post-it notes, grab those. I just have this size. You can use any size. And your notebook's fine too, but if you use the Post-it notes, then you can participate in the little activity we're gonna do, and that's gonna be fun. So how are you today, Nicole? Are you having a good day? It's like super cold here. I feel like I can't warm up. A little bit of rain, definitely some wind. I know it's not super cold compared to other places, but for Southern California, it feels super cold. All right, awesome. I'm glad. I'm really glad. Nicole, have you been able to keep up with the homework? Do you have a blog topic and narrowed it down, as well as possibly a name? Yeah, okay, it's just raining all over the country, I think. My parents live in Arizona, and they've been talking about how it's just been raining for days. Hasn't been like that here, but there's definitely weather, which we haven't had. Let's wait another minute or so and see who else pops on with us. Otherwise, we'll just get going, and you get to ask all of the questions and get the most value from your time spent here. So as I was saying, for everybody who's watching the video and watching the replay later, make sure as you're going through and doing each of the lessons to pop questions into the group so that I'm able to help you. And other people within the group, if they have experience or they found something that worked for them, please feel free to comment also. It's great to have that interaction and that rapport and just really learn from each other and encourage each other. I do want to tell you guys on the lesson of breaking down and figuring out who your ideal reader is, Jerry had a fantastic breakdown of her ideal reader. So go back and find that. I believe it's in the feed where I posted the comment. Good morning, Jerry. I was just talking about your ideal reader. I posted the file with the questions to ask yourself about your ideal reader. I believe it's in that comment feed. So you can check hers out. It's a really good example. It's very in-depth, and it's something for you to just, go by and see how she did it. She did a great job. Oh, great. Nicole, you have your name and narrowed down your topic. What is your topic? Please share. I want to hear. Hey, Natalie, welcome. I'm glad you were able to make it. Awesome to have you. We're just waiting to see if a few more people pop on. I was talking about Jerry's ideal reader worksheet that she did. It's a really great example. So if you're struggling on that, check hers out. It's on the comments from the file that I uploaded with the questions for your ideal reader. You can read her example there. Hey, Jamil. Great to have you. Hey, Michelle. Great, Natalie. You have a name and a topic. Great. Share that. That's exciting, isn't it? Those are like big deals. They're really, you could get hung up on that kind of stuff forever. So it's really good that you have committed to it. It's very exciting. You do too. Great. Share it. I'm so excited. People are like making progress. I'm so glad that the challenge is helping you move forward towards your dreams. That's fantastic. Jay, okay. All right, Jay, thanks. Never sure how to pronounce people's names. I'm not that great at it, so I appreciate that. Soul, born to be beautiful and top of fashion and beauty over 40. Okay, cool. Jay, tell me, socially, is that what that, yeah, socially. Socially yours, got it. Cute, fun, born to be beautiful. Oh, those are fun names. Okay, good. All right, I want to start with yesterday's topic a little bit. I think maybe I gave too much information and it's causing confusion for a lot of people. Well, I don't even know if a lot of people, but from the few people that I have seen commenting, and I knew that was going to be a tricky day. So I appreciate that learning opportunity, and now I know not to over deliver on some of those details. So I'm going to back that up, and I'm just going to give just a little bit of information on this because I don't want to take too much time on it today. But I think what I'm going to do is create either a separate video or a separate form that I can upload for you guys to discuss this. But here's what I would do. If you don't want to get hung up on the tech and having to build out a blog, or just getting really complicated with that and doing research and all that, there's 3 options. Well, 4 options. If you want to go free, go with either WordPress.com or Blogger.com. Now remember, that's totally hosted by those platforms, and everything you need is going to be on that platform. So you're not going to have to be switching back and forth, buying domain names and uploading and doing all that kind of stuff. But remember, those 2 being free, they're going to have either WordPress.com or Blogspot.com at the end of your blog name. So TammyGibsonOnline.wordpress.com or TammyGibsonOnline.blogspot.com. Okay, so that's the disadvantage of the freebies. If you're going to pay, which I recommend you do if you want to run your blog as a business, and assuming that you do because you're here in the challenge, you want to learn how to run your blog as a business, then you're going to either use WordPress, which I am recommending you just go to Bluehost, and I'm recommending Bluehost because I know Bluehost, okay? But they have it so simple. It's like a one-click upload of WordPress. So you go to Bluehost, you get your domain free, you get the hosting, it's a one-click to upload your WordPress, and now you have the site that's live. Okay, it's that simple. And they have these great step-by-step tutorials if you have any questions, and good customer service as well. And then the next step would be what we're working on today. But as far as actually getting your name, getting your blog actually live on the internet for people to see, that's a great way to do it with WordPress. You could also do Squarespace or Wix, which we talked about, and they host their own things there on their own servers. So if you go to Squarespace and you create a blog through them, everything you have to do is going to be right there on Squarespace. Same thing with Wix. I know that Wix is also offering a free domain. So you just set up all of it in that one spot, and that's just going to keep it simple for you. Unless you understand tech and moving things around, name servers and all of that kind of stuff, it gets a little bit tricky. Just give yourself a break and pick one of those 3, or the free if you are going to go in that direction. But pick one of those 3, make a decision, jump on it, and get started. They have step-by-step guides. Everything is there on their website. That is going to be the easiest way for you to get your blog up and live, and that's what we want. If you're hanging around trying to figure out tech, it makes you not want to do it anymore. I understand. And 2 of the women in the group said that. They're like, I'm getting hung up on this. I'm getting frustrated. I don't know if it's worth my time. So go the easy route. They already have it set up for you. One click, get it started, and get blogging, okay? So you can get your message out there, you can start making money, you can start growing your influence. That's what you need to do. Okay, so that's just a little side note. I wanted to go back over to talk about that. Jay, I'm going to come back to questions in a little bit. We have a lot to go through, so at the end, I can see that you're typing some stuff in there, so we'll go back to that, okay? Okay, now the next step we did bring up a little bit yesterday is the tagline. When we were talking about naming your blog, Michelle asked a great question. She said, what about the tagline? So today let's get more in depth about the tagline, and what that is, it's a little short phrase or grouping of words that tells more about your blog beyond your name. And it's going to be right up there at the top of your blog in your header, which is the graphic image at the top. And when people come to your site, it's like the first thing they see, and it's going to give them an impression immediately of what your blog is about. It's just like the outfit that you are wearing, okay? It gives an impression of who you are without you even speaking a word. Your tagline is going to do the same for you. So it helps the reader that comes there to understand more about your blog immediately without having to go in and read your about page or read your blog posts. And it's also another way to communicate with the search engines, because within your administration, the back end of your blog where you're going to be working that the readers don't see, there's a place in there where you're going to be putting your tagline, and those are just more keywords for search engines to find and bring you up when someone's searching for that. Okay, so it helps in two ways. It helps your reader and it helps the search engines. So here's a couple examples that we'll go through. GrowMap. Okay, we have no idea what that is, right? Sounds interesting, might be, have something to do with GPS or something like that. But then you read the tagline, which is, map your path to grow your business. So now you know it's a business growth website. So if you're a business owner, you might dig deeper. If you're not a business owner, you're like, this isn't for me, and you move on. Tiny Buddha. You might think that that's only for Buddhists or people who practice that religion, but then you read it and it says, the tagline says, simple wisdom for complex lives. Well, we all have complex lives, right? So you might want to find out how to simplify your life, so you go ahead and dig a little deeper into that blog. Otherwise, you maybe wouldn't have had it not had that tagline. Now, if you're using your own personal name, like some of you are doing, and you're offering services, like you're going to be a coach or something like that, or you're using your blog to showcase your talents, like if you're a singer, musician, actress, you can use your blog to showcase your talents. So your tagline needs to tell what you're doing, because Tammy Gibson Online doesn't tell people what I'm doing using my name. But my tagline, I have the grouping of words. I have digital marketing, blogging, and brand visibility. And after doing this lesson, writing these note cards for you, I'm thinking I need to make it a little bit more sexy and fun. So I'm going to rethink my tagline as well. But those key words give the reader a first impression of what they can expect from my blog. And it tells the reader also that you get who they are. Okay, your tagline needs to be something that your ideal reader, who you want to become your super fan, can relate to. You want it to be something that they read it and they go, yes, this is the place for me, I get it. So here's an example, outnumbered 3-1. You have no idea what that's about, then you read the tagline, real moms keeping it real. So you can guess by that tagline that she's probably pretty sassy and doesn't sugarcoat parenting, right? And so if that's you, you're like, I need to read this 3-1. She's got 3 kids. I've got 3 kids. This is the blog for me. Just from the tagline, you can make that decision. They can also show your personality and the tone of your blog. So if your tagline is something funny or sarcastic or something really sweet, then your reader's going to get that first impression based on the words you use. The bloggist, her tagline is like Mother Teresa, only better. So you could tell she's got a lot of sass, right? So you're like, I maybe need a little entertainment in my life. Let's see what she has to say. So you check out her blog. Here's another one using her name, Carol Roth. You have no idea what she does, who she is. You just stumbled upon her website. Her tagline is tough love for business. So you can tell by that tagline that she is not going to be willing to work with whiny, emotionally fragile business people. And if that's you, you don't want to work with her either, because that might terrify you a little bit. It might be really intimidating. So you're like, moving on, or yeah, I need some tough love, I can handle it. And then you decide if you want to work with her or not. So your tagline will be used in the header, like I said, at the top of your blog, and that's all an image, your name, your tagline, and whatever the background is that you have. That's just a graphic, and we'll get to how to create those. I'll give you some resources so you can make it your own, on your own, or you can hire someone else to do that. But also, like I said, you can put it from your admin into your HTML of your blog. Now don't get frightened. Don't get scared away by my saying HTML. Okay, yes, that's the coding of your blog, but that's all done really simply in the back end of your administration where you're going to be working. So to wrap that section up, a killer combo that helps you attract your ideal reader for a tagline. It shows your visitors that you know them. It clues them in about what your topic is, and it shares the vibe of your writing. So if you can get all three of those into that short phrase or grouping of words, then you have yourself a killer tagline. Okay, so that's the next thing you want to work with to go along with your blog name. Okay, so now we're going to move on to branding. Now the branding, the tagline is all part of your branding. The name is all part of your branding. You've already kind of been working on your branding, thinking about your branding without even knowing it, because you've been thinking about who's your ideal reader, what kind of things does she like, what kind of things is she into, and that's going to influence the branding of your website. Now the branding is more than just the look. It's also, you know, just kind of the vibe, the personality, the style of the images that you use, the colors, the actual logo. And that's what most people think of branding. They think of the logo, but it's so much more than that. So we're going to go through today how to create that for yourself. We're going to do some brainstorming. So the voice or the tone, okay, they're a little bit different, but they're kind of the same. So for today's purposes, we'll talk about them as being the same. It's kind of your attitude, okay? It's not the specific words you use, but it's how you present those words. Are you going to have the voice or the tone of someone who's sarcastic? Are you going to have the voice or the tone of someone who's, you know, funny? Or just really super sweet, just the nicest person ever? Maybe if you're doing kind of a high-end luxury vibe on your blog, you could be a little bit snobby. Like, I don't drink coffee from home. I have to get it made by the barista. That kind of thing, where you just kind of have that snobby undertone. So you're going to be thinking about that. You might be really nurturing or really spiritual. Those are all things that are like the voice or the tone of your message. Okay. Also, tone could be like, are you bold or are you meek? There's a coffee house in town that's called the Meek House, and everything about that is like, that coffee shop is like dainty. Their lights are like thin wire, and they have all these succulents all over the place, and it's very quiet, and the seating is like plush gray, and they have chalkboards with these little notes on it. It's very sweet and very gentle. Okay, so that's kind of the tone of their coffee shop. Okay, so we're going to talk about how you can take the name of your blog and how different it can be just based on your branding. Okay, so we're gonna go through an example of a blog, and I'm gonna give you 3 scenarios of what the blogger could possibly be and how she is gonna brand her website and what her message is, so that you can see how you can change up your blog based on your branding. So the blog name that I picked was Kim in the Big Apple. It's totally fictional. I mean, at least I think it is. I didn't actually research it. I just picked it. So by the name, you can guess it's about a woman who lives in New York City, right? The Big Apple, New York City is known as. So just based on the title alone, you know that much. Now, it could be any number of topics, right? It could be a food blog, a fashion blog, a how to survive life in New York City type of blog. We don't know. So we're gonna look for clues based on the branding and the tagline of the blog. So for the first example, Kim could be a food blogger. She creates a vibrant blog with lots of bold color, and her logo is a big red apple with a bite out of it, right? So that's an indication of the food portion of it. Her tone is loud and expressive, like you would expect a New Yorker to be. And she reviews everything from 5-star restaurants to farmers market to the little cupcake stop along the route that has a line out the door, a block long. Her tagline is "Eating my way through New York City." Okay, so based on her tagline, her colors, her logo, and the tone of her blog, you get a feel for what her how she's presenting her information. And if it rubs you the wrong way to have somebody be really bold in their language and in their colors, that may not be the blog for you. But if you love that and you're like, oh, this girl is crazy, she's so fun, then you're gonna wanna stick around and enjoy it some more. Or Kim could be a transplant from Tennessee, and she's always dreamed of working in corporate America in the big city. And she started her blog as a personal diary of her experiences in New York City. It was something just for her family to kind of follow along and see what's going on, and it caught on because she's so sweet and she's just this Southern belle, and her crazy experiences of living in a big city just cracked people up, but they just love her innocence, okay? And so her tagline is "Sweet City Living," and her colors would just be really soft and very Southern, and you would just get this feel of this really sweet girl, okay? And then here's the third example. Kim could be a creative photographer who loves the urban culture and the raw beauty found in the city and the people that live there. Her blog showcases the diversity of life found in New York City, and her photos that she takes do most of the talking on her blog. So it's very photo heavy, and she has a very unique style about her photography. And so if you're interested in going to New York City, you might check out her blog and see what are some of the unique places. Where do the locals go if you want to avoid the whole the tourism, all the tourist places in New York City, then you would go check out her blog and maybe, become a fan of her photography. And her tag is "Behind the Lens." So you have these 3 very different types of blogs, but they all have the same name. So you see how your branding and your tagline are really important to make your blog stand out and to give it that personality that the name doesn't necessarily give it. Okay, so now if you have your Post-it notes, we're gonna do a little activity. And so Post-it notes and a pen. And during this time, you're gonna be working independently. I can't play music because on Facebook Lives, if you have music, they'll take you down, okay, because of copywriting issues and stuff. So there's just gonna be some quiet time while you're working and I'm working. And what we're gonna do, and I will be standing up and sticking stuff on the wall here behind me. I think I'm actually gonna use the picture and just stick these on it. What you're gonna do is brainstorm, and this is just a brain dump. Don't be critical about your thoughts, don't even think twice. If it pops into your brain, write it down. We're going to think of words that you want to represent you and your brand for your blog. And so you're going to think about feelings. Okay, so anger or loving. Some people really are successful with angry blogs, right? I'm not into it, but some people are into it. So what kind of feeling do you want to evoke for your readers when they come? Do they want to feel like it's home? Do they want to feel like, very urban, or, what's the feel of the blog? Very loving, very simple. Okay, so those are kind of feelings. What's the energy of your blog? Do you want it to be peaceful? If you're doing self-care type of topic, you probably do want it to be peaceful and calming, so when your reader comes, it's a way for them to de-stress. On the other hand, like Kim in the City food blogger, Kim in the Big Apple food blogger, she was very vibrant. Her energy was very high. So her colors are very bold, and the way she talks and posts is very vibrant with a lot of dynamic energy. You want to think about your colors. What kind of colors might you like to use? Generally, you go with something that feels good to you. Favorite colors, different combinations of colors. Typically the softer colors are more popular than the bold colors, but if your topic fits well with the bold colors, go for it. My blog, A Mom in Red High Heels, of course, has the bright red in it because of the red heel. And that's just touches of it, but I definitely wanted to have that bold color in there. What's the style? Is it going to be really sophisticated? Are you going to talk sophisticated? Are your colors and the feel of your blog going to be sophisticated? Or is it going to be a little bit more edgy? Are you going to have a little bit more darkness to it, just kind of rawness on it? Images. Think about the images that you want to use. If you're good at photography, then you can definitely take your own images, or you can use the free images that I gave you some references to in yesterday's download, like Unsplash or Pexel. Those have lots of different types of images. So do you want to use images that are more muted, or do you want to use the ones that are really crystal clear? So think about what type of images, black and white maybe, or with that sepia, that kind of brown filter on it. Think about that. Think about your voice and your tone. Are you going to be sweet, sarcastic? Are you going to be like this go-getter hustler with your language and your tone? Or are you going to be like more go with the flow and peace, love, joy kind of feel? Okay, so the tone, the voice, and then the personality. Are you going to be this huge, big personality that's really expressive and loud and talks a mile a minute? Or are you going to be someone who's a little bit more calm and reassuring and encouraging and just, kind of get to it when you get to it kind of thing? That's going to be the personality of your blog. So we're going to go for, probably 4 to 5 minutes. We'll kind of see how everybody's doing. Just one word per sticky note, and then stick it up on the wall. Or you can do it on the table in front of you, whatever you want to do, but I'm going to stick it on the wall. So we're going to work on that independently. I'll be over here. Try not to give you my back too much. All right, go ahead and get busy. Just stick them up randomly. Just brainstorm, okay? If you're having problems getting going, maybe just start with colors. What kind of colors do you want to use? That's, you know, usually the easiest. Just you have a sense within you what you want your blog to look and feel like, because it's generally very much about who you are as a person. Also think about your ideal reader and what she might like. So Jerry's ideal reader, she liked Harleys, and she had this dream to do this Harley vacation. So, you know, that's a little bit of edginess in there. A little bit of badass, right? She's fierce. So those are some good words that Jerry could possibly use, and conveying the message to her ideal reader. Okay, let's go for 1 more minute on this section of it. You can do more later. Okay, just a few more seconds. Yeah, it is hard. That's okay. This is just the brainstorming element of it. I'll give you just a couple more seconds. Okay, go ahead and stop with wherever you're at. That doesn't mean you have to be done. You can totally go back to this later. You can start fresh, or you can just keep adding to it. But now what we're going to do is we're going to break it down. We're going to narrow down a little bit to try and more clearly define what you want your branding to be. So you're going to look at all of the words that you have created, and you're going to eliminate ones that are similar. So if you have on there words like pretty, beautiful, glamorous, or stunning, those all 4 kind of mean the same thing. They have a different feel and different meaning. So pick the one that you like the best and take the others off of the board. Okay, so you're just picking one from that category, or from that, you know, similar feel of a word. Another example might be you have whimsical, flowy, peaceful, calm. They all kind of have that very boho, chic kind of feel to it, very flowy, relaxed. So again, pick your favorite one and take the other ones off. I'm going to go do that on mine. I'll give you a minute or 2 to work on that. Okay, so you should have eliminated maybe half or so, maybe even more. Are you guys good with that? Just give you about 30 more seconds to do that. And then we're going to break it down one more time. Okay, so now you have your words that are left over. Now what you're gonna do is you're gonna take all of the words that you have. I still have a lot. Maybe I need to eliminate a few more. You're gonna take all of the words that you have and you're going to group them. So put all of the colors that you brainstormed, put all those in one section. And then put all of the words that might mean like your attitude or your tone, put all of those in one section. And then put all of the words that describe the type of pictures or images that you want to use, or possibly like your logo, the feel of it. Put all of those in one. So you're going to have distinct sections on your wall or on your table in front of you. So color, put all the colors together, the feeling, you know, the bold or the powerful. The personality, the vibe that you're going to have, those all go together. So separate those and then we'll come back together and talk about that. Okay. All right. Were you able to get that done? I'm going to take mine off just so I can come closer to the camera. Put them in my groups here. Okay, so I'll use mine as an example to help you understand, and then once we get through this, then I want you to eliminate even more. What you're gonna do right now is you're gonna look at these words and think, is this really the message that I wanna convey about my brand, about myself, because you are your brand, right? About my blog, is this the feel, is this the look that I want my readers to have when they first pop onto my site, that immediate emotion that they're gonna get from it. So for my brand, here's one grouping I have. It kind of fits into the style element of it. I love high heels, so I want high heels to be a part of my brand. I feel like high heels feel powerful. It's an empowering feeling to me to wear that. So I want to relate to other women who also enjoy wearing high heels. That's just something that we have in common. So I'll be using high heels in my social media pictures or on the pictures in my blog. So high heels is one piece of it. Style in general, I'm a style coach, a fashion blogger, so I'm definitely going to bring in the style element with my pictures. Okay, and maybe some of the language in my blog. It's two totally different elements, online business and style, but I'm gonna blend the two, and that's unique to me, that's my brand. Okay, so the style and the high heels are coming into it. My personal style is edgy elegance. I like to have a little bit of edginess, not too much sweetness. But I also like it to be refined and elegant. So what I am going to do is bring that in. And with the colors of my blog, I can have that little bit of edginess in there, a little bit of edginess maybe with the language that I use while I talk, but not so edgy that I'm this hardcore scary person, okay? I'm not like death metal. I'm just a little bit of edginess. I like you know, metallic jewelry, and I like zippers and studs and ripped jeans. All of that kind of stuff brings edginess into my style personally. And so, excuse me, let me get a drink here. So I'm going to try and bring that edginess, that feel into my blog with my images and my wording, okay? My next section is going to kind of be my tone or my voice of how I present. I want to be an encourager. I want women who come to work with me to feel like they can do it because I'm encouraging them. I'm a great cheerleader, okay? So I want that to come out in the voice and the messages that I put out onto the online world. I want to be friendly. I have defined myself as your blogging bestie because I don't want to be this coach that's up here that's a know-all, right? I want to be right there with you in the trenches, being your friend, being your BFF. Let's do this together, and we're going to figure it out together and create the best possible blog for you. That's the feel of the message that I want to give. We're in this together. And we're in this to be fruitful, okay? Fruitful can mean more than money, but I think definitely I want to help my women earn more money, but I also want them to have more experiences. I want them to live life offline also, okay? I want you to be rich in relationships. I want you to be rich in experiences. I want you to be rich in knowledge. And the money comes with that. Okay, so I want to provide a place where women feel it's fruitful for them to be there. They learn something, they find value in it, okay? And then I also love the word dynamic, a dynamic personality. That's who I want to be. I want to be this dynamic person. To me, that doesn't mean big and bold and loud. To me, that just means I know what I want, I know how to get it, and I'm determined. So that's the feel, and that's the woman that I want to attract. I also want her to be dynamic. That means she's willing to do whatever it takes to get to where she wants to be. That's how I define it for myself. The next section I have are the colors. Okay, for Tammy Gibson Online, I chose to go a little bit different direction than a Mom in Red High Heels, which was a little bit more bold in color. So I wanted it to be softer, but still have that edginess. So I'm pairing light pink with black and tones of gray. So I have black and white, and I have pink. These are my words. I have washed out and soft. So I think I'm going to throw out washed out. That's one of the words I'm going to actually throw out here. Going back through them, and I decide that's not quite the right word. But just kind of soft focus. Okay, so my Instagram pictures kind of have this soft focus, soft color. They're a little bit washed out like that other word, but I'm going to keep soft instead. And that's part of my branding. That's part of the feel that I want to give off when people see my content online. And then the last one I have, this would be, I think more a feeling, okay? I think that goes in the category of feeling, but self-care. It's very important to me to teach women who are working online to take care of themselves, because I've gone through a lot of experiences where my body was not healthy because of all the time that I spent on the computer. So I want there to be this balance of working and doing this tech side, but you have to also stop and take care of yourself and get offline and get into the real world. Give yourself exercise and good nutrition and interact with people in real life. So that is all part of my messaging, is that self-care, because when you take care of yourself, you're going to have more to give to your readers and to your clients. And you're going to have more energy to put into thinking about what to write and actually writing it and producing the material. So that's all part of my message for my brand. Okay? Is that helpful for you, Jerry? I know specifically you said this is hard. Going through it like that, does that help you? So once you have your list of words, okay, awesome, good. Once you have your list of words, these are the ones that are going to represent you. So now eliminate anything as you're going through it like I did. I'm like, I'm going to throw this one out. Eliminate the ones that don't work for you, and then go back, sleep on these, go back tomorrow and look at them again and be like, is this really how I want to represent? And second, well, first, is it authentic to you? Does it feel good to you? Are those colors that you normally wear and use in your home? Or are you trying to push something out there that's not really you? Okay, if I was someone who wore black high heels all the time and I liked the neutrals, a mom in red high heels would not be a good match for me. It wouldn't be a good name, and it wouldn't be a good brand for me. So make sure it really fits authentically who you are. And also, does it really fit with who your ideal reader is? Okay, so go back to that worksheet that we did about who your ideal reader is, and think about her. Okay, Jerry's girl, and I'm using hers because I told you guys at the beginning she has a really great breakdown of who her ideal reader is. She's a little bit of a badass who rides a Harley, but she also just likes to keep things simple, and she likes pink lip moisturizer. She stays away from bold color, okay? So those two are a little bit contradicting, which is very much my own personal brand, or have that edgy elegance, okay? So find your words that work for you and for your ideal reader. And everything that you do is going to be based on those words. This is your brand now. So your social media is going to have that same feel. Your videos are going to have that same feel. Your emails that you send to your readers, your blog posts, everything that you do online for your blog, for your business, is going to be about those words. So make sure you really like them. You don't want to be stuck with something where you're like, why did I pick that? Okay, so sleep on those words tonight, and tomorrow reflect on them, and then post them in the group for us. Ideally, you would have 2 to 3 words from each kind of grouping. So your tone, your colors, the personality of your blog, the voice. Sorry, I was trying to think. So have 2 to 3 words that kind of describe what it is that you want from each of those categories for your brand, okay? All right, so your brand gives the first-time viewers an immediate impression of you, okay? So you want to make sure it's saying what you want it to say. All right, so that was a fun little exercise. It's creative brainstorming. Those of you who are more analytical maybe didn't enjoy it as much, but for me it was a nice break from the tech yesterday. So think about those words. I'm going to move on from that for now. We'll come back to questions at the end. I wanted to talk quickly about themes and how to, once you have your your platform, whatever platform you're going to use to host your blog, once you have that up, now you have to make it look pretty and match the brand words that you just came up with. So a theme is what you're going to use, and it's the design of your blog, it's the layout of your blog, it's the size of the images, it's when you go to a blog, how much are you just going to have the preview of the article, or are you going to have the full article right there on the homepage? All of that stuff comes from the theme. And when you work, I know specifically with WordPress, Okay, they have all kinds of themes that you can look at and find the one that fits for you, and then you can either buy it or use a free one. And you can do all of this through Bluehost, I know. For Squarespace and Wix, I'm sorry, I don't know. I'm just speaking from my experience here. But with WordPress, then you just modify those themes. You make it the font style that you want, you make it the color that you want, and you resize, you resize the images. There's all kinds of fun little things that you can do to personalize your blog to make it look the way you want to look. That stuff's not hard. I want you to understand today's, with the technology that they have today, it's really a lot of dragging and placing things where you want them to be, or just selecting. Like, I know in the back end of my WordPress blogs, I just need to click which font package I want. Okay, I just decide, I look at them all, I decide which one I want to use, and those are the ones now that are on my blog. So they've really made it super simple. You don't need to understand coding for any of that. In fact, they want you to stay out of the coding so you don't mess anything up, unless you really know what you're doing. And it sounds like Jay does. So if you guys have questions, maybe ask her. Okay, so themes are what you're gonna get to with the WordPress. I think with Squarespace and Wix, it's really just a drag and drop kind of setup where you're like, okay, I want to have a column here, so I'm going to drag it from the menu and place it over here. I think that that's how it is from what I've read. So again, I'm going to go back to Bluehost. You can upload the WordPress right there, one-click upload, and then within Bluehost, so you don't even have to go anywhere else, you can pick from the themes that they have there. And just know, here's a little tip, when you're picking the blog theme, the layout, just know that there's things that can be changed. So when you're looking at it, don't go, oh, I don't want blue font. Okay, all of that stuff can be changed. Even the layout, the one I have on a Mom in Red High Heels now, it had all these different options for pictures across the top. Did I want like 3 small ones, or did I want 4 smaller ones, or did I want just one big one? So you have a lot of flexibility and variety that you can just kind of play with, and which is really cool, because then it makes it easy for you to change up your blog when you get maybe a little bit bored with it, which happens. It definitely happens. You're like, oh, I need a fresh face, right? It's like getting a new outfit. You just need something a little bit of a change just to make it feel fresh to you, because you're the one that looks at it more than anybody else, right? So you're gonna feel that way. So those are called themes, and I did put in the download file yesterday a couple of resources of the 2 themes that I use, and where you can find them, you can look at them. But again, if you are using Bluehost, I think it's all just right there when you go inside, and they'll pop up where you can look at all of those. Just make it easy on yourself and use what they're offering, because they'll have a huge variety too, okay? All right, so that's it for the branding today. I wanted to talk about Project Blog. We're coming to the end of our week here, and if you guys are doing the work, you are ready to launch, right? You're ready to put that blog out there or modify a blog that you already have, and you're gonna need the next steps. You're gonna need to know how to take it beyond getting started. And all of that stuff I have packaged together in Project Blog, and I want to emphasize a little bit today about challenge number 2. So the second module, the second week, we'll be working on a module called A Little Bit Country, A Little Bit Rock and Roll. And we're really gonna get into the branding for you more specifically. We're really gonna tackle some of the things that we talked about today, but today was really just a preview of it. So we're gonna come up with an original brand that feels authentic to you and relates to your reader. We're gonna talk about how branding helps you create more visibility and really stand out from your competition. We're gonna talk about creating a unique visual brand, voice, and personality. That's all part of your branding. And we're gonna talk about how to create a Blogstar worthy About Me page, because that's really important content to have on your blog as well. And it needs to be dynamic. It needs to catch people's attention so they're like, yes, I want to work with her. I want to know her. I want to follow her. I want to buy whatever she says that I should buy. Okay? A lot of that comes from the About Me page. We'll talk about how to brand across all platforms, including social media, email, video, and your blog, because you want to be consistent all the way across. And I haven't taken down that $247 price. That's $50 off the normal price. And I have a phone call when I get off with you. And when I'm done with that at noon, then I'm going to be taking that price off and going back up to $297. So if you're interested, now is the lowest price. You have about another hour. Yep, you have about another hour to get that price. So if you're considering it all, now is the time to do it. Get that savings. Project Blog is going to start on March 19, so you can still be working on all the things that we learned in the challenge. You'll receive a couple of bonuses that you can get started working on, and you get a bonus of a 30-minute private coaching call with me, and we can do that either before, during those 3 weeks before, or we can do it at any time during the 8 weeks of the program. And during the program, we will do weekly Facebook training videos within the private group for anybody who is in Project Blog. So you're still going to have that one-on-one time with me. You will have one-on-one time with me, and you'll have that group time with me to ask questions about anything within the modules. So get on that price. Now is the time, okay? All right, let's get to questions. I'm going to see what you guys have been talking about. Put my glasses on so I can see. I'm going to back it up. Okay. Yep, Tumblr. Tumblr is really very visual. I think Squarespace is very visual too. Squarespace blogs are very pretty. Okay, so Jay seems to be the techie nerd here. She calls herself, I'm a techie nerd, have a BS in computer information systems, and she can offer to help anybody that's having problems that wants to do, or just needs help, or wants to do something a little bit more than the one-click setup. So thank you, Jay. You got the title for your blog, Jerry? What is it? Okay, Project Blog will be available until March 19 when we start, and then I will open it up again after, and I'll kind of restart the process of doing a challenge. I think I'll do a different type of challenge, maybe something with social media or Pinterest, because Pinterest is really important for blogs, and then I'll open it up after that. So it will be open enrollment until March 19, and then it will be closed for a while, and then I'll reopen it later in the year again. Okay, you're going to a writing retreat, just can't add. Yeah, now, Jerry, I totally get that. If you want to get in now, you can work as a self-paced. All of the information is going to be dripped to you each week. A new module is going to come out each week. And the video training is live each week, but it's all going to be there so you can go back to it and work on it when you can, okay? So if you just don't have time right now, you can get in at this price and you have a lifetime of it available to you, okay? Those training videos aren't going away. So whenever you get to module 2, for example, then you can go into the Facebook group and look at the training for module 2. And that 30-minute free coaching call that I'm offering as a bonus, that's available until you use it, okay? So if you want to get in, now is the time to do that. Because if you don't get started now, you're not going to get started. I'm telling you, you can keep putting it off. Angels and Harleys, love it. Added tagline, yeah, excellent. That's fun. And that's that 2-word name, right? That 2-word blog name. Those do really well. I love that. Oh, that gives me the chills. I'm so excited. Okay, any other questions from anyone regarding any of the trainings we've done so far, or Project Blog, or what's coming up tomorrow? Anybody have any questions? Okay, well, I hope to see you on live tomorrow. Thank you for being here. I'm grateful for your time, and I hope you found value in the information today. Please be sure to pop in any questions, because if you have a question, someone else probably has that exact same question. So that's how we can help support each other, is just being really open with what we're struggling with. And I'll do my best to answer. It sounds like Jay can help on the tech end of it. And go back to those resource pages I've been uploading the last couple of days and get some information from there as well. Thank you for being here. Love you all. Bye.